Hi everyone, it's Virginia again from Soul Talk. So I'm recording from my balcony. Yay! So I'm in Gold Coast. Yeah, this is where I live for now. So this is the view. I can show you a little bit. It's quite nice place in Hong Kong. So yeah, this is where I am right now. And I just wanted to talk to you about how to quit your job. Yes, please go for it. Go for it. I actually did it last Friday. So 2 days ago, it was my last day in my previous job, in my 9 to 6 job. And I have to say, I have been quite unhappy for the past few months in my job, and I think sometimes you have a trigger, right? Life will show you where you have to go, and it will be difficult perhaps because you are in a comfort zone, right? So you have a paycheck every month, so you feel safe in a way. And actually there is a trick to that. You may be feeling safe but very uncomfortable. So that comfort zone may become uncomfortable, and it can be very difficult to leave because you feel you're doing something so unsafe. However, of course, this video is not for you if you're totally happy in your job, and that's totally beautiful. I think we spend so many hours in a job, right? Like 8 to 10 hours or even more a day. So if you're doing something that you really like and that you really enjoy, and even if it's something that suits your needs, like perhaps you have a family, you have children to support, and that's your motivation, right? So when you're having a motivation and you're still dealing with your job, and perhaps you're not totally happy, but it still suits you, so that's totally fine, no issues at all. So I've been in this corporate job for 5.5 years, and before that, well, different jobs and always jobs, right? And well, the first few years were amazing. I think I always felt the corporate pressure, I feel only now I'm discovering there are so many people doing so many other things, like having so many different lives and so many different lifestyles that do not require a 9 to 6 job, They do not require you to be sitting in a desk or just being away from home for that long. So I think for me, well, something happened at work a few months back, and then I was happy until then, but there were many things and many questions that I already had in my mind, like how much longer am I going to be able to do this? How much longer am I going to invest in this? How much energy am I going to keep putting to this? Is it really making me happy? And the answer to that was always like, oh my god, like I feel trapped, because you may have a good salary or medium salary, whatever, but it's just a salary at the end of the month. And you may have a medical insurance, whatever, and those things, like I said, will trick your mind in thinking that you have to stay. They will trick your mind saying, this is the only choice you have. You cannot leave. You will be foolish to leave because you're living something which gives you safety. And like I said, that safety can become so uncomfortable, and that was my case. And when you go through these triggers, for me it has been so difficult for the past few months, and I was struggling so much to go to work every single day. And I was like, no, I'm gonna be able to make it. And then you start planning, right? Because you already have that idea in your mind of doing something else, something more meaningful to you, or just perhaps taking a break, right? So I was calculating like non-stop, like, okay, what happens if I quit next September, for example? okay, this is my Excel spreadsheet, right? These are my numbers. What happens if I quit in May? Okay, these are my numbers. But it was never, what happens if I quit now? You know, so I was never having that thought. I was always like, oh no, now? No, it's too dangerous, too scary. Like, I cannot deal with that. And then one day I was like, okay, why is it that I cannot quit now? Like, again, let's review the numbers. And then there's always a way, you know, there's always a way to work things around. There are always options, and you start researching. And like I said, so many people doing online jobs or whatever, you know. I think the most important thing is to align with your core desires. So align with your purpose. Ask yourself, where do I want to be? Do I want to keep doing this that it doesn't fulfill me in any way for 5 more years? Do I really want to be here? And then ask yourself, what do I like? And you may not have the answer, so don't expect to have the answer to quit, because you may not have it. So you may have an idea, you may have a feeling of how you want to feel. So do you want to feel recharged every single day? Do you want to wake up and feel happy and liberated and free? Or do you want to feel that you're just coping with life? So I said to myself, I don't want to cope with this anymore. I don't want to cope with the amount of stress. I don't want to cope with the amount of shit that I'm dealing every single week because of one thing or the other. And actually, right now, I feel, you know, there are triggers, like I said, and I was resentful at that point, at certain point for that trigger. I was hurt or whatever, and then I feel so grateful right now about that trigger, about that person or that situation, because life will always put you, the person, and the right scenario to push you further, you know. So perhaps whatever happened, you may be wondering, why did this happen to me? And then it's like, well, this person was playing a certain role in your life, and this person was really pushing you forward. So that's how I feel. And perhaps I was reflecting or projecting some of the things in this person and things that this person had to learn from me. So whatever the situation is, please know that there are options, and start looking for those options, and start inquiring, and take the time to investigate, really do the research. And most importantly, like I said, just ask yourself, what makes you happy? Is this energy draining, or is this energy generating? So are you generating energy, or are you just so exhausted after work that you get home and you have no time to do anything? So what are you working for? You're a slave. Seriously, you're just paying the bills, but you're a slave. So that's not what we came to this earth, you know. Perhaps yes, perhaps you have to go through certain things in order to end on the other side and learn whatever you have to learn. But just please know that there are options, and I'm sure you will be fine. And I just wanted to share these suggestions with you, and I hope it's helpful, and I hope you can find something very meaningful, and that you can feel amazing every day, full of energy, really taking your life as a gift, because it is every single day that we waste. Well, nothing is wasted, but because we always learn, right? But you have a choice on how to live your life, and you are the creator of your life. So step out of your comfort zone if it's not making you feel comfortable anymore. And the unknown zone, it can be scary in the beginning, but it feels amazing because you're doing it for yourself and you're putting yourself first. And you're putting, if you have children, putting yourself first is wonderful because your kids will be feeding on your energy. So if you come home like after a day of work and your energy is devastated, you know, like what is the kind of example you're transferring to your kids? So think about this, and I'm wishing you all the best. Bye. Speak soon.